February 14th, 2016. Undead from Cleveland, you're listening to Video Game News Radio with your host, Kevin Baird.
Valentine Brian Baird.
Cupid Donnie Anderson.
And Larry Mack, apparently.
You lose him already?
I guess. I don't know. His camera's still on, but he didn't hear me say anything.
And Larry Mack. What the hell just happened?
I don't know. It was weird.
It's fully delayed. I could hear it through his
Yeah.
ear.
It was strange. Okay, well, I did reboot my computer this week, unlike last week. So I'm hopeful that at least my machine won't fuck up as much as it did last week. The audio was fine last week, though. Even though I guess I was choppy to you guys. But whatever. So we're going to do our top 20 titles of the week drinking game. And basically the rules are, if something I list off in the top 20 is not a video game, you have to drink. Now, I don't make these things up. I don't just say that this is something. This is off an official list on Amazon. So they're the one that makes the list. Video games, but not everything is a video game. So if it's not a video game, you have to drink. Doesn't have to be booze. I'm drinking Diet Dr. Pepper this week. Name brand pop.
Yeah, an actual name brand. I'm proud of you.
Special for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Okay. And there'll be some drinking this week. So everybody get your favorite beverage. Here we go. Number 20. Forza Motorsport 6 Standard Edition for the Xbox One. That's a game. Number 19. Action Replay Power Saves Pro for the Nintendo 3DS. That's totally not a game.
I thought it was like a regular. Wasn't that something like you just press a button is supposed to do that, or I don't know.
It's like, yeah, I think it like lets you put in cheat codes for games, like it used to do on like, the PlayStation and stuff.
Yeah. Maybe to order it special.
Yeah, all I remember about those is like on the first edition original PlayStations. If you had like the Game Shark, you could use it to like allow you to play copied games, you know, because there was on the back of the original PlayStation there was a little like parallel port that you could plug it into, and they got rid of that port on later models because, well, people were using it to, you know, play games and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then you remember the original PlayStation didn't even have analog controls. It didn't have the dual sticks yet.
Right.
It was just digital. And then Nintendo N64 came out with their one digital pad, and Sony was like, "We're gonna make two analog pads, whatever."
Yeah, that made no sense. We're gonna play Tecmo Bowl the whole time, yeah. But other than that, you know.
Well, yeah, they made 3D games, but if you go back and play those original like Call of Duties or what is it, Medal of Honor on the original PlayStation, the graphics are so terrible. It's like hard to even figure out what's going on.
Just step to the right to the blocky, you know.
It's just a blurry shape coming at you.
Yeah.
Like,
screaming in German.
Like, oh my God, I can fight that guy.
Eyes and helmet and teeth.
But I mean, if that's all you had, that's all you had. Number 18, Me Too Amiibo Super Smash Brothers series. Not a game.
Not a game.
Action figure. Drink. Larry, what's you having? You drinking your single Scotch Vault liquor or whatever?
No. That was, that special occasions you break that shit out, man.
Did you determine on the drinking test which one you like better?
Oh, okay. For everybody listening at home, for the two people listening that aren't also friends of mine on Facebook, last night, a friend of mine and I got together for the evening to do a little taste test. I had 2 bottles of scotch that I had received as gifts from people. For my birthday, a couple of my friends had gotten me a very nice 12-year-old single malt scotch.
I'm trying to say something.
And for my 1-year anniversary at my job, my boss, who I've been friends with forever, got me a ridiculously nice 18-year single malt small batch reserve bottle. And yeah, I mean, it's exactly as much of a contest as it sounds like. I mean, she was like, okay, we take the 12-year, and we're like, that's good. And then we take the 18, and it's like, this could get me in trouble because it's just like totally smooth, totally like.
At that point, it doesn't taste like gasoline.
At that point, we had to bust out the nice cigars and have some steaks and.
Really, you brought out cigars?
Oh yeah.
Because that was like a date, right?
I suppose, yeah. I mean,
well, that's what you wrote on Facebook. You were having some date on Saturday. I don't know.
I said it was a date?
You kind of
kind of alluded to that, yeah.
That's what you sort of said.
Okay.
I'm sure she's not listening, so
I'm sure she it was a date.
Yeah, that is true. So
wouldn't have to worry about that. All right. Number 17, Battlefield 4 Premium Edition for Windows. Number 16, $100 PlayStation Store gift card. Drink.
Oh, and to answer your question today, we are going with the Trappistes Rochefort Belgian Ale.
There was a question?
Wow. Yeah,
Kevin asked what I was drinking today.
Oh.
And also, this is a 15 proof Belgian ale, and it tastes a lot like burnt water. It's got a nice burnt taste to it, and yeah. So if you took some vegetables, burned them, and soaked them in water, and then poured it into this bottle, that's what I'm drinking today.
Sounds delicious.
And nutritious.
Yeah. Okay.
Don, what are you drinking today?
Coca-Cola.
Again?
Coca-Cola.
Did you get sick of the Coke? Do you ever just want to mix it up?
Yes. So I drink Red Mountain Dew, but I don't have any on me.
There's a lot of different colors of Mountain Dew.
There is.
That? Like, they're always changing. There's like a purple one and a blue one.
Oh, at work I went for that purple Mountain Dew Kickstarter nonsense because they were out of the Monster, the rock stars that I like to drink with my breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That shit was vile. I don't know how the hell people drink that crap.
Right.
I was like, oh, it's grape. It'll be like what I normally do, but with little grape Mountain Dew taste to it. And then I realized as I was drinking it, it really was basically what I normally drink with a grape Mountain Dew taste to it, except that, grape Mountain Dew tastes a lot like,
Grape.
sweat and sadness.
Grape Mountain Dew.
And grape.
Sweat. Sadness. That's how you're going to feel later when you go to take a shit. It fucking feels like a bent crowbar's coming out.
One of you guys have a TV on or something, because I keep hearing it.
I'm playing the game, but other than that, you should be able to hear it.
I have nothing on now. I even had to turn off the Twitch because it wouldn't stop echoing at me.
Maybe it's that. Number 15, Microsoft Xbox wireless adapter for Windows. Drink.
Ugh.
Number 14, Final Fantasy 15 for the PlayStation 4. That's a game. Number 13, Nintendo Super Smash Bros. White Classic Controller for the Nintendo Wii U, GameCube, and Wii.
That sounds like I have to drink again.
That's a drink. Number 12, Fire Emblem Fates Birthright for the 3DS. Number 11, Snoopy's Grand Adventure for the Wii U. We can see who's buying games this week.
Yeah.
Number 10, Sid Meier's
You can't even know who the hell
Civilization
Snoopy is
5.
anymore.
That's
Civilization 5. Once again, Civilization is on the chart because people have to keep buying Civilization. I don't know why.
I will admit this probably will get me disqualified from even being on the show because this is the sort of knowledge that I should have if I'm going to do a gaming podcast. But if you go from like Civilization to Civilization 2 to Civilization 5, Are there really appreciable differences at this point? It's the same friggin' game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do like your fortresses look cooler because there's better graphics now?
Well, certainly
Or-
they're going to be better, the ones with better graphics, and they probably put in like a new like sliding scale tax rate system, and
there's a whole new fiduciary subsystem underwriting the whole thing now.
right, yeah, you could totally create a flat tax if you want versus a progressive tax. You can see how that works.
We're still working out the tariffs.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's it's lots of trade routes. You got to make up your own treaties. Like a word processor appears in front of you. You have to type it up yourself. You get the unless you have the Quill expansion device that you plug in, allows you to write out with pen and ink.
Instead of your workers getting eaten by bears or whatever, they join trade unions and
Yeah, you got to deal with the union strike. You got to bust it, Got to hire your rowdy guys to go over there.
You know what?
And bust up
I
the
think
union.
I think tomorrow I'm going to go to the store and pick up Civilization 5. I'm in.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Just everything you can think of. Number 9, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, Game of the Year edition or something for Windows. Number 8, The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim, because apparently not everybody has that yet.
I know.
$5 for Windows. Number 7, Street Fighter V for the PlayStation 4. Number 6, Sims 4 for the PC. More Sims. Now that's a game that I don't think improves at all. I just think they add some more wallpaper.
At
And
this point, how are they only on number 4?
number
They're like-
clothes.
There have been 830 releases of that game.
I think it's like, they keep doing expansions and everything.
Like you could be your pets now.
Yeah, pets and chimneys, Sims chimneys, whatever they can put in the game.
Like someone ran out, they're like, "Oh my god, I can totally have a chimney on my house now. I'm in."
Yeah,
Yeah, they get so fucking far gone in the game.
$50 DLC to put a chimney.
Dude, they've had those. That's how I used to kill people. We used to build houses. You put a fireplace in there, and then you put like a shag rug in front of it, and then like eventually they're like, "Oh, your carpet caught on fire, and your room caught on fire," and like everybody inside dies.
yeah. I made
good.
it once where I was the only person. Like instead of building a family, I was just like one dude, and then I electrocuted myself, and then
Right.
the game just ended, and I was like, "Well, this
That's
is
fun.
dumb."
Yeah, it
They're
was a
like,
lot of,
"Here
that
goes."
was nothing.
Like, I
Number
wanna be-
5, Fallout New Vegas for Windows. Now
New
$2.49. If you don't buy it at that price, you basically don't want to play it, right? I mean, that's just how it is.
Like you see it and you're like, you know what? Next week they're gonna mark it down to $1. I better wait.
Yeah. Right. There's
They
not
just
a
come
lot
to
of
your door and
savings
just
to
hand it
be
to you.
yeah. Oh my god. Number 4, Xbox $10 gift card. Drink.
Drink.
Right.
Not a lot of drinking. That's like the last drinking. Number 3, Need for Speed Rivals Complete Edition for Windows.
Oh, that's terrible.
Number 2, Total War Rome 2 Emperor Edition.
Mhm.
That's where you just tell the game what to do. You don't actually play. Because
Do
you're the emperor. So you're just like,
Nobody blames you for everything. They try to kill you.
yeah.
It's always March for some odd reason.
It was like the game Castles that came out a long time ago where you like defend a castle, then in between every round,
Oh,
like you
yeah.
have these like choices that you have to make. And like you could either do one choice that pisses off like, I don't know, the people, or another choice that pisses off like the Pope. And so like there was no like happy medium. You
Yeah.
were always making somebody like furious at you for some reason.
Yeah. So yeah, each round you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and levy a tax. Yeah, the people want to revolt. So next round you're like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and break with the church. So the people are happy now. And so you have to keep going back and forth. And meanwhile, there's the whole enemies surrounding you, but you have to ignore that because you have to keep seesawing back and forth between the peasants and the church.
Right. Yeah.
And you're like,
We're
shouldn't I
launching
be
a
like,
crusade. We're launching a crusade.
yeah,
We're
shouldn't
launching
I
a
be like
crusade.
repairing my fort at some point? Oh no, no, don't worry about it. Okay.
Forza
I
for the
remember.
week.
Anderson, you remember that Defender of the Crown game?
Yep.
In each, you had like a portrait of your character, and then like each time you did poorly, the portrait made you look more like
You get like a black eye.
Oh yeah.
he's just got more bitter looking and sad.
Yeah, you got angrier. You get beat up.
That was funny shit. All right, number one, up 2,138% this week is Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS. $16.50. So that's our games of the week. Let's catch up with the other hosts on the show. Brian, pause your game and tell us how your week went.
My game was great, Kevin.
Or
I'll
2
tell
weeks, since you weren't here last week. You can
Yeah,
tell us.
last week I was ill. And I wasn't fucking around. I had to call off. And then as usual, I call off. And like, we have 5 of the guys that called off, so you can't. And I'm like, well, then I'm the 6th because I'm not coming in. Really wasn't feeling good. And then I worked later this week where I had a bit of a strange thing happen. The trailer I went to slide, get underneath it with my tractor. For those who don't understand that trucks aren't just one thing, it's 2 pieces for the most part. And for that to work, for the 5th wheel, yes, there's a 5th wheel, to connect to the kingpin, the top of the trailer has to actually be able to touch the top of the 5th wheel. And the trailer I was trying to slide underneath was a little too high, so I went to dolly it down, with the landing gear, and I'm sitting there yanking on it. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm looking down at it. I thought it looked odd to begin with. The one leg on the landing gear was bent back slightly, just enough for it to make it complete. It's ice cold. It went from like what, 40s to like 10 degrees, so it's
Yeah.
also probably a little bit frozen. So I went and I got the yard switcher. I thought I'll just lift the trailer up a little bit and it should just snap back, or it should make it a little bit easier, but that didn't work either. So I called my boss. I'm like, hey, look, I can't take this trailer out. The landing gear won't rise up. So good luck.
Just drag it.
Yeah. So I went home and they called me back there. And it's like, yeah, they went and they reloaded it. And then when they went to look at the trailer, the leg just fell right off. I'm like, oh my God, man, if I'd managed to get that thing up a little bit and then it didn't manage, I drove it down the road and it just flew out when I was going like 65. That would have been really good because those things weigh a ton. So I left Friday, and the roads Friday were beautiful. They were
You
just
don't
dry.
mess around, right? Like when you find something wrong, you just get in your car and drive off. Like you don't even wait.
No,
for
I have to.
like-
You
Yeah.
have to make every effort. You have to make absolutely every effort to see if you can get that run out the door, and if you can't, then. But I mean, it's a mechanical thing. It's one of those things where, like, if I touch it and it breaks, then it's my fault.
You're like, there's a flat tire. Where are you going? And you're out.
Sorry,
Fix
my
that in
bike.
10
Got my
minutes.
bike fucking pumped by this.
You guys didn't leave the keys in it. I'm out.
Yeah. It's cold. So, so I left. The only bad weather I hit going to all my deliveries was like when I went through Buffalo, but that's Buffalo. It's weird too. Like Buffalo gets the worst fucking weather in winter, but you never hear about it. But Cleveland gets a little bit of snow, and everybody loses their minds. It's just like, man, they got better press in New York, I swear to God. So all day Friday, it was like, yeah, it's kind of nice. And then I was driving home Saturday, and I had an empty trailer, and I almost went off the road like 4 or 5 times, just literally sliding. And the speed limit was 65, I was going like 40, 45, and I'm like trying to turn with the road, and I continually like kept going in the other direction. I'm like going, this is really going to suck if I go up the road, because that's totally going to make me roll, And so by the time I came home, my eyes were like glazed. Other than that, still playing Fallout 4. Play a little bit of Vermintide, and as I was telling Kevin, I'm playing. Mordheim got released on Steam completely some time ago, and I'm still kind of tinkering with that a bit. And that's about it. Most of my days just been work, come home, sleep, and I got told from work that I may have to work an extra day. I'm like, fine, whatever. They're kind of screwing themselves. It's like, well, we need you to make this one pickup. So we have to spend the night out, I'm like, well, spring's coming up, and you guys always ask, we need you to make this pickup. Can you make this pickup? And I'm like, not if can you make this delivery? And I'm like, not if I got to make this pickup, I can't. So like, well, you're probably gonna have to. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll make extra money, and I want to do the extra bullshit work when I get back. Sounds good to me. That's about it, really. I mean, nothing's really been going on. I got a new board game for us all called Pie in the Face.
Not
And then I got the lie detector.
Brian's got a can of whipped cream and a
yeah,
tin.
it's probably not even a real game. It's probably some.
It's a big rubber hands, like a fly swatter, but it's like the spring on it's like industrial.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so what do you do? You press this button. Was it? Ah!
I'm not closing my eyes in front of anybody. Any
Well,
of you.
that's where your eyes will like go through the back of your head because I like it's too tense. It's crack. It just breaks your face off and whipping cream and blood goes flying everywhere. It'll be fun for the whole family.
Put this cream in your face.
Yeah.
No.
I try to get games so I can sit there and watch everybody twitch. You know, it's like I'm nervous gonna make these guys.
We'll be twitching after the cream because we don't know what it is.
You think that's whipping cream, huh?
I made that myself.
Well,
That smell,
mayonnaise.
that smell.
It's just gonna get disgusting. It'll be like mayonnaise sprinkles, then it'll be like pickles, you know, and whatever nobody likes.
Great. I'll drop dead. from
Yeah.
No
pickles.
good.
Well, yeah.
Shit. Larry's dead on the floor. And none of us can move him.
If you're next to Cease and he got splattered, you didn't. He just slaps you. He's, dude, what the fuck, you man? Ha 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 ha.
That's funny. Under my hair.
He was cracking me up, man, because he was trying to tell that story, and then Jessica started coughing like hell, and he just stopped halfway through. He just gave her, just you know, he gets that look on his face. He just turned and looked at her. He goes, "You want to punch her in the throat?" I was laughing about that when I was sick, man. I just thought about that. He just got this really cold look on his face, like, "You want me to punch you in the throat?" I'm trying to tell a fucking story. And, you know, she's got no fucking volume control. She's always at 11. She's like, it's all fucking great. I'm so sorry I missed the last game. I know we bombed out, but that would have been fun. I would have shown up with frozen fucking whipping cream in a spanking game.
Yeah. Nothing new there.
Yeah. What? It's masculine?
All right, light up.
That was my week.
Okay. Donnie, how was your week?
It was all right. Same old. I mean, you know what? Not. Let me pause this. Okay.
Such dedication to the show. Finally, pause this game.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a video game show, so let me, play a video game on. Yeah, it's hard playing Red Alert without sound. I can't hear if my base is being attacked. I can't tell if anything's done making. I have to look. I have to pay attention. Anyway, yeah, there's not much going on around here because it's pretty much the same thing over and over again. I get up, I go to work, I come home, I take care of my parents, I help out, I run errands, and it's the same thing every day.
Did Cheesecake giving you hours?
Same fucking thing.
Well, I've been getting more hours. This is my first day off in like the past week. So
That's good.
we had this one server, we had this one girl who's one of those annoying, I mean, I know there's plenty of them, annoying girls, bitches, whatever, who talks all the time, constantly talking. Like you always hear her voice. She's so loud. She's just got to talk. Like just one of those people just talks.
Oh, the noise.
Yeah, and it's like you could be sitting there talking to somebody and she'd be like, "What are you talking about?" And it's like, "None of your business."
Shut up. Start slapping her.
So she started. She decided she would become a manager, and now they were training her to be a manager at this cheesecake that I work at. And so now she has to get into every other conversation that's going on, and it's just been going nuts, right? She's just like, oh, it's like I'm talking to a manager. She's like, "I can do that for you," and I'm like, "No, I want one of them to do it because I don't like you." And it's like, it's been going on, and she's like, "Oh, I'm having a going away party. Everybody should come to my going away party." And it's like, "No, I'm not. I'm not going to. I will bomb your going away party." But, so it turns out I picked up a shift on Saturday. I go walking in, just whistling. I'm like, yeah, blah, 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 nothing. Open the door. She was the first person I saw. I was like, what? Like, just out loud. I'm like, what? No. She's like, "No, today's my last day. It's nice to be wanted around here." And I'm like, "Yeah, oh, I thought your last day was the other day." She's like, "Oh, appreciate it." And I was like, "Yeah, you just ruined my day." I'm like, you don't appreciate it. I said, "I don't appreciate my day being ruined because now I know I gotta hear your voice all day." So I had that going for me, and it was just, yeah, there was that week. And then Sophie, I got Sophie over here. All right, I'm a bad parent. I get it. I'm a terrible parent. I'm letting her play Grand Theft Auto 5 online. But I'm not. She doesn't get to use the headset, so she doesn't get to talk to people. She doesn't get to hear people. 'Cause I don't want anybody talking to her. You know what I mean?
Gets to kill them.
She just gets to run around and kill people and do stuff. Because she was doing it on my account, and it's like, stop doing this on my account because people think it's me. Because she's doing dumb stuff, running in circles, you know, pooping her pants or whatever. And so I made her do it on her own account, and now she's playing that. Then I got a list over here of all these people. She's like, Daddy. I come walking in. She goes, Daddy, here. And she hands me a list of names like Sanchitos 2000 and all these dumb names. And I'm like, what is all this? And she's like, these are the people that killed me. Hunt them down and kill them. I'm like, wow. I just can't do that. That's not an option. So I have a murder list of people that went after her. But then I'm going to show up and I'm going to try and take care of them myself. I don't know how I'm going to find them. That's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm a bad parent. So what do you expect? I hate people that talk, and I'm a bad parent. That's my week. That's what we've learned.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Larry, let's hear it.
Let's hear what?
How your week went.
Fucking awesome, because everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. So, like most weeks,
This is a Kevin moaning.
like
Sure about
This
that?
week went well. I don't know.
like most weeks,
This fucking happy bullshit.
I went into this week with a song in my heart and a smile on my face and
Well, that
a
was
tip on
dumb.
my step.
Why the fuck should you do that?
Because that's how you need to go through life. You need to be happy in life.
Oh, you're so full of shit.
Life's too short to be unhappy. Why would you be unhappy in a world filled with so
We're
many
doing good so
fine,
far.
awesome
Where's
people?
Larry?
So anyway,
What'd you do with Larry?
this week, I did my weekly physical therapy for the shoulder thing. But if you're paying attention at home, you may have said my weekly physical therapy, not one of them, because this week I only went once instead of twice because my arm fucking fixed. 2 days, I've taken 0 pills for it now,
Wow.
which is like crazy talk for me. So, booyah, arm's fixed. Check that off the list of things that could possibly, even conceivably, be wrong in my life. So, boom, nothing. Nothing could be wrong in my life. It's perfect now. And then, so my employer, they're very big on like wellness and stuff. Like,
Being healthy and all that shit.
yeah. Like, you know, we get this checklist each year, and it's like, you know, if you do this stuff, we'll deposit X amount of dollars in your HSA. And so we did the annual, you know, biometric screening thing and the blood work. And I got my numbers and I punched it into their little thing so that I would get all the money deposited in my HSA. And I punch it in, and according to the thing,
You are the
my wellness or overall wellness score is 1 out of 100. So
Get out of here.
I
Really?
swear to God, when I said that, I was like, it says my wellness score is 1. And like Rob happened to be next to me talking to this girl Megan, and they're both like, no, what is it really? It doesn't go down to 1. It's not 1. You would be dead if it was a 1. And I just sort of leaned back from my laptop, and Megan kind of looks over, and she's like, oh my God, it's a 1. And, and Rob's like, bullshit. And he comes around and he's looking at it. He's like, I gotta say, it's damn impressive. I didn't even think that was like a possibility.
But you're
I
a
have to-
non-smoker, right?
He's like, I have to assume that 0 then just means you're actually currently dead. So I have my, believe it or not, 1 out of 100, they labeled me as high risk. And then it like breaks out your risk levels for different things. And really the only, the only categories where it tagged me as high risk, it says it's not much. I'm only at high risk for blood pressure, BMI, cholesterol, drugs and alcohol, emotional health, physical activity, exercise, nutrition, and safety. Other than those categories, though, I'm apparently doing quite well.
all right.
So, yay me. So, Yeah. So another reason that life is awesome. In addition to being number one, if I do have any problems down the road, they apparently won't last long because I'm not going to live much longer. Um, so, and then we went into the weekend, and yesterday I spent the evening with a wonderful young lady sampling some fabulous scotch. And our original plan was that I was going to, go down to her place and we're going to check out this pizza joint that she had been pimping. And she's like, you know what? That's some quality fucking scotch you're bringing. I don't think we should be having pizza. I'm going to get us some steaks. So she made us some steaks and some baked potatoes and some, what are those little green thing? Vegetables. There were some vegetables. So that was dinner. We had some scotch. She was like, this is some good fucking scotch. I think we need to bust out the good cigars. And we're sitting at her place bullshitting, watching TV, smoking cigars, drinking scotch, and she busted out this show. You may have heard of it because I did some research, and apparently it was on Adult Swim. I never heard of it, but it was on Adult Swim for 3 seasons. Check it out with Dr. Steve Brule, with John C. Reilly from like every Will Ferrell movie, basically. Holy fucking balls, we were both laughing our asses off. It is the funniest shit. Go find it immediately. You can thank me later because holy God, it was funny.
What's it called?
Check it out with Dr. Steve Brule. And it's basically, it's done as a 80s cable access interview show. And he's like a complete idiot, socially awkward fucking mutant. And like the one episode, they're talking about food, so he goes to this restaurant and he's like flirting with the waitress, and he brings her back to the studio to interview her. And while they're talking, she says something about her dad. He's like, wait, is your dad so and so? And she's like, well, yeah. And he's like, okay, so what did we learn today? We learned that Sunshine here is my cousin. So what? Who cares? I don't even care. But totally fucking funny shit. I'm like, seriously, you'll appreciate me if for no other reason than I recommended that show to you. So and then after that, we watched Saturday the 14th because that's just a great movie.
Oh yeah.
And this morning, Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Not so much you guys because you're dudes and I like you and all, but not that way. But but
It's
to
okay.
all our audience across the globe and anybody listening out in the stars, because I'm sure our voices are being beamed toward Alpha Centauri.
Well,
Happy
dude, I'm
Valentine's Day. Because you know what I did today for Valentine's Day? I woke up this morning. I had a little bit of scotch left in my glass from the night before.
I had a little bit of Wendy's left over from yesterday. I ate that.
I had me a nice home cooked breakfast with some bacon and eggs and some toast, and we busted out the Little Rascals DVDs.
We?
Oh, there we go.
My date.
Oh.
And it was so like, Lord knows we've established that you could never redo the Little Rascals in this day and age. But it's funny watching because one of the episodes we watched was the one where they do the play of Uncle Tom's Cabin,
Yeah.
and
Fuck,
the
we
curtain
did
comes,
play.
the curtain pulls back, and all the kids are in blackface picking cotton, and I just like lost my shit. And then Stymie is Uncle Tom, and the dude's like, I'm gonna whip you, and he starts whipping him. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah, that's
people would
they'll
burn
be
shit
burning,
to the
they'll be
ground.
burning shit down. Other people will be like defending it. It'd be just crazy dumb.
That's the greatest stuff ever.
And
It's
then
fun to watch from a distance.
Not slavery. I'm not saying slavery is the greatest stuff ever. I'm saying like the Little Rascals.
Mm-hmm.
so there you go. That was my week. How was your week, Kevin? Was your week also equally awesome?
No.
Sorry to hear that.
Somewhere in between yours and mine.
Gaming night got canceled, and I cried to myself alone.
You know what I like is that Kevin sends a message out to everybody and he's like, you know what? I don't care if you guys show up or not. I'll sit here with the dogs and order pizza if nobody shows up. Everybody canceled but me, and he's like, canceled, never mind.
You said you weren't sure and you don't have a sitter.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. It didn't mean
Well,
I never,
that's
I
pretty
never
much
can-
what canceled then, because I
never
mean,
can-
you know,
gave up on me.
But you weren't
Mike was going to show up, but I told him
Weren't-
forget
weren't-
it. Come in a week.
Okay, I
Or
wouldn't
in
have
a-
been
in a
anyways.
month, whatever. So, yeah.
I wouldn't have. That was his.
Did anything else happen this week? I can't think of anything.
One thing that did happen is I'm currently on level 1,442 on Candy Crush Saga.
Gave up on Elite Dangerous after 200 hours. Playing Wasteland 2, which is okay, but it's really buggy and it crashes all the time. Still playing Diablo
Other
on
than that, it's
Wednesdays with Karate Dog and company. And that's fun, I guess. But,
So I haven't multiplayed Diablo because I hate people, but I mean.
well, you're all on the same team. You're just grinding away, and you're just,
Yeah,
getting
that
new
sucks.
gear and leveling up and all that sort of stuff. It's all right. It's, it's okay. Nothing super amazing or anything, but it's fun.
Nobody
Yeah.
was fun.
So I don't know. I'm trying to think, but not really. Nothing happened. Working
Try to
on my
think.
garden still and
Hurts.
buying stuff for that.
You still have a garden at this point? Isn't
No,
it
I'm
under-
building an above. I'm building a raised
He's
garden.
got a below,
bed
he's got a below ground, above ground, and then this.
out of mason block, so I go buy some. I can only buy so many at a time because they're really heavy and it weighs the car down.
You're crazy.
Popping
I
a
did-
wheelie the whole way back.
I did buy a new lighting harness for the green car, the little car. So I'm
I
gonna
thought you
try
were
and
like you went mountain climbing. You put on this light harness.
when I get that, I'm gonna try and replace the harness, and that'll probably be a disaster. But the other one's like, it's so rusty that you can't really get it to work unless you like jam something in there. But then it always falls out because you're in a car and shit's moving around. So I'm gonna try and replace it. It's fuck. I mean, I went to the dealer, but they told me that it would be like $2,000 to fix the fucking light. So I was like, forget it. This is ridiculous. They just didn't want to do it, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I can't think of, I mean, nothing.
Yeah.
I watch movies and play games and go to work. It's not that exciting.
Yeah.
Here's some news. The Coleco Chameleon has been the center of discussion, debate, and skepticism in the retro gaming community, but today the price and Kickstarter date were revealed. Oh, that's all I got, though. Unfortunately, this article didn't. It goes to a video, which I'm not going to watch.
Oh, I was gonna say that's an awesome, impressively written press
Yeah.
release right there.
I could. What is that noise, Brian? Turn your volume down.
I would,
Don,
but
whoever's making the damn noise.
it's me. Quit crying, goddammit.
Well, you can. It's
You're gonna get us sued again, damn it!
Abba.
It's coming out of your money.
Right.
Just turn it down. You don't need to hear the FM feed.
I thought it turned down.
Sorry, Snake.
So excited.
Yeah. I'm looking for here. What's this? Is this new? No. This is December 22nd.
I went to refill my prescriptions, for the stuff they gave me for my shoulder, and I had 2 prescriptions, and the one was out, and the pain med, I still had some left, and I was like, I don't want to make 2 trips up there, so I just sort of took the leftover pills and dumped them on my table and took the bottle up with me. Apparently, you cannot just get your narcotic prescriptions refilled whenever you want.
Yeah.
You get a nasty stare, and they're like, "No, you need to come back in a week because you're not supposed to be done with these yet." And it's like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally not selling them or anything."
I had to get something renewed early, and that was a to-do. Call my doctor. and then like they had to get approved. Then the insurance wouldn't let me have it. That's when I had my back pain. I was just like,
Please.
yeah. It's like
For the love of God.
I'm gonna go sit down in this
Switch up
chair
the
way
volcano.
over here while you guys try to figure it out. I'm like, I didn't like deny it or anything either. I'm like, I'm eating these things like candy. Just give me more of them. I'm in fucking pain.
Yeah, I straight up told him at the one point, at the physical therapy, I was like, because for a while there, I was, doing, both meds, the muscle relaxer and the pain meds, like, 3-4 times a day. And she's like, you're only supposed to take that once or twice a day. I was like, yeah, I know, but that just wasn't cutting it for me.
Yeah, that's how the Percocet was for me. It's supposed to be as needed. I'm like, yeah, as needed all the time. And then they were like, well, then you should have got a prescription to OxyContin. And, that's the drug that you hear about, and everybody's like, killing their grandparents to get it and shit. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to be on that.
Yeah, you do. Come on.
Killing people.
At that time, though, yeah, I would totally be on it. I would have, whatever you got, just give me something,
Yeah.
just
Morphine.
a bullet to the head. If you can't give me any of that, just please give me something. All right, Steam Top 10. Number 10 is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Great game.
Number 9 is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Number 8 is Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Pre-order. Number 7, Ark Survival Evolved. Number 6, Fallout 4. Number 5, XCOM 2. Heard good things about XCOM 2. Number 4, Counter-Strike Complete. Number 3, Firewatch. That's the one.
There's a fire.
Yeah, I think you. It's like a mystery, but yeah. That'd be
Sounds
kind
like
of
a
boring if you just were standing on a fire tower with binoculars
Yeah.
and you're looking for smoke and you
Like
just got
Duck Hunt.
radio in. Yeah, it looks like there's fire over.
It keeps getting closer. It keeps coming closer and faster, and it's sort of like Missile Command.
I did try to tune in the North Korean satellite this week. There's this radio station, or not radio station. There's this thing online that you can use to like listen to and tune in various other people's radios around the world.
Right.
And then I went on the trajectory of the North Korean satellite, and I got it where it was passing over at the time on Google Maps. And then I kept trying to like tune it in, but it's not broadcasting. But supposedly it's supposed to play like the anthem or something of Kim Il-sung and Kim Sung-un, or I don't know. I have no idea. On like 470 UHF band. And I'm like, I got to try to listen to this. I just want to hear what this sounds like. But it's not broadcasting. That's the kind of nerd shit that I'm doing, people. It's not even remotely interesting. It's just way nerd. Like I played with a bunch of circuits this week, like wired some stuff up to play some music with a light show, electronics and stuff.
So this year you'll be doing the Sabotage light show at Christmas on your house?
No, like LED type stuff. It's just nothing exciting. After I learned that electricity doesn't flow like I thought it kind of blew my mind. Did I talk about that last week? Like, let's say you got the wire to your house, right? Like a 16 gauge wire that's in your house.
Right.
Okay, and you turn the power on, right? At the switch. At the switch, right? So you got the wire in your hand, and you got it like it's gonna, I don't know, turn on a light bulb, let's say, right? And you turn it on at the switch. How fast do you think the electricity from the switch is moving through the line to the light bulb?
Depends on resistance, depends on a whole bunch of
Give me a rough estimate.
It's going at the speed of electricity.
Yeah, I mean, 4.
How fast are the gerbils running on the wheel?
You would think that it probably moves at like close to the speed of light.
No.
Then how fast do you think it moves?
I don't know, 37 kilometers per second squared.
I
I
don't
don't know.
It moves 1 inch
Tell us, Professor.
per minute.
Okay.
and so you're thinking to yourself, how does that even work? Like, if you turn it on, it doesn't take minutes to go down the cable to the light.
Okay.
Well, it's pushing because the wire metal already has the energy in it. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
not
charged.
it's not flowing. So it pushes it forward, and the end of it is just like trillions of electrons, even though they're going really slow. It's really fascinating. So like your light bulb is burning electricity like incredibly, like that's flowing incredibly slowly. And like AC current basically doesn't much flow at all, too. That's another weird thing. It gets really weird. It's I was reading all about it, and so like I was running some experiments on that. Because you turn your light on, and the light turns on instantly, and you're like, it's just the speed of light. It's just going there super fast. Or it's going around the world. Like you're talking to somebody on the other part of the planet, and you're like, it's going there, and it's going back. And it's completely not how it works at all. Like, it just changed the way I understood electricity. If anybody's interested in that, just do a search on
Take a class.
how or
Wikipedia.
does electricity flow through a wire. And it will, like, because these electricians were laughing about it. That Cheryl Omer, she posted up this post about just like a joke, and then one of her electrician friends was like, you wouldn't believe how many people think the electricity flows through the wire. And I was like, what do they mean by that?
Dipshits.
Yeah.
Fucking
Everybody's
retard.
a fucking idiot. And so then I looked it up, and then like I read this thing, and it's really interesting. I'm not going to read the whole thing.
You know, exactly like we sit around and do every time they do something stupid with computers on a TV show.
Yeah, I
Fucking
mean, probably, right. I always thought it just electricity just shot through the line. I don't know. I mean, I should bring this up to Cease and see what because he took all those classes. I don't know if he's going to know the answer, but he's, he might. Or he'll be like, dude.
Well, it's because, well, I mean, if you think about it, when you flip the switch, it's not generating anything at the switch, it's completing the circuit. So it's the electricity wouldn't travel from the switch because there's nothing to generate electricity at the switch.
Well, yeah, right. It doesn't generate it at the switch, but you would think that it's stopped at the switch and then travels down the wire to reach the light in order to power the light, but it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
It just pushes the electrons forward. So that's why your voice can be in near real time on the other side of the planet, because it's not traveling all the way around the planet. It's just pushing forward what's already there. It's interesting. But I'm not doing it any justice. You got to really read the scientific explanation of it.
See, now,
Well,
actually, this happened to me the other day. You want to know what I would love to hear an explanation of?
Oh.
That's kind of similar. You talking about your voice being nearly real
Why
time.
do women
across the
suddenly...
world?
Oh, no. Sorry.
If I have the TV in my bedroom on and the TV in my living room on, and they're on the same channel, there's like a split-second difference between them.
Yeah.
Like
Because
on
you
the
left one
same
room and went in the other room.
Right.
Well, that just depends on the circuitry.
because, like, you know, you like if you stand in the hallway, you'll hear like an echo because the two TVs being on the same channel and being, 20 feet apart, somehow there's a delay.
Are they on the same cable?
Cable.
Or you don't have cable? You're all
Cable.
antenna.
He has
True.
cable. Don't let him fool you.
It's all.
But,
It's all. They all actually come over and perform the shows in my house for me.
That's just basically due to the different microchips in there doing the decoding and then putting it on the TV for you and all that stuff. You're not getting a raw anything anymore. Maybe back in the day, in the early days of tubes and all that, you were getting a raw analog signal, but it's all digital now, so it's all just decoding and depends on, the chips inside your TV. In fact,
Makes you think I don't What makes you think I don't still have tubes in my TVs?
That can be a problem for like video games and new TVs. Alexa was just recently buying a TV, and you can get new TVs, and the decoding on some TVs takes so long that there's a noticeable lag between the game system response and what's happening on the TV screen. So you have to get a TV screen that has like a game mode, or a significantly lower response time, so that you can, or a whatever it is, so that you can play games properly. Because some TVs you just can't play games on them, or you can, but you got to be like weirdly delayed, And I go left, right, left. I press the button, and now I watch it happen. There it goes.
Shell poof.
Speaking of smart TVs, Samsung has confirmed that its smart TV sets
Not
are
smart.
listening to customers' every word, and the company is warning customers not to speak about personal information while near the TV sets.
And that's why, fuck that, I like my tube TVs.
The company revealed that the voice activation feature on its smart TVs will capture all nearby conversations. The TV sets can share the information, including sensitive data, with Samsung as well as third-party services. The news comes after Shane Harris at the Daily Beast pointed out a troubling line in Samsung's privacy policy. Quote, "Please be aware that if your spoken words include personal or other sensitive information, that information will be among the data captured and transmitted to a third party." Samsung has now issued a new statement clarifying how the voice activation feature works. Quote, "If a consumer consents and uses the voice recognition feature, voice data is provided to a third party during a requested voice command search," Samsung said in a statement. At that time, the voice data is sent to a server, which searches for the requested content, then returns the desired content to the TV. The company added that it does not retain or sell the voice data, but it did name the third party that translates user speech. And then it says there's an update, and it's named the third party in question, Nuance Communications Incorporated.
Like, it's funny because, that's certainly terrifying and shit. But think over the course of your life, how many times have you been sitting in front of your TV talking to someone and been like, "Hey, what's your social security number?" "Well, mine is 338156923.
There was like a movie or a book or something that's fairly popular about how there was like a whole conspiracy, like there was a camera in everyone's TV, but nobody knew about it.
Big Brother.
1984.
And it was like, no, it wasn't 1984, because you knew in 1984. In 1984 they were looking right at you, and you're like,
What you
you're
say?
not exercising well enough.
Careful.
Do more.
Wait.
This was like a secret or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking the government would then be looking just hours and hours and hours of dudes scratching their balls on the couch, fucking.
Yes.
Well, some of us don't do that because it's an abomination against God.
Some of us don't do it in front of the TV because we're afraid everybody on the TV can see it.
Yeah, brother, see you. Is that your pee-pee? Oh, shit.
Damn it!
No. Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to see if I could find the book, but is your TV spying on you is probably not a good thing to search on.
Yes, it is.
It's probably all been deleted. It's like those Tempest systems. Those are those systems that the government can use to read your RF emissions. And anytime like somebody tries to like post up stuff about like a real Tempest system, like they always get taken down. Because you could just drive over to Wall Street and spy on people or something. Apparently.
We tried to do that. They kicked us out.
None of this now. None of that. NPD report shows drop in both hardware and software sales. Grand Theft Auto 5 makes the top 5 for third consecutive January. Call of Duty was the best-selling game in the U.S. in January, according to data from NPD, though the software market declined by 10% due to a lack of major new releases. Let's see. The top 10, according to NPD, is number 10 is FIFA 16. Number 9 is Lego Marvel Avengers.
Ugh.
Number 8, Madden NFL 16. Number 7, Rainbow Six Siege. Number 6, Minecraft. Number 5, Fallout 4. Number 4, Star Wars Battlefront. Number 3, NBA 2K16. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5. And as we said earlier, number 1 is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Overall, the U.S. games market declined by 4% year on year, falling from 627.6 million to 605.2 million.
Oh my God, gaming really is over.
If they counted all the plastic toys everybody was buying, I bet the gain would be astronomical. It would be like record sales, according to Amazon, plastic toys. Here's the games coming out this week. On Monday, multi-platform, we have Drain Pipe Contract.
Wow, sounds exciting. You put your finger in it and just like, okay, it's not training anymore. Oh.
You got to install it. The Ship
straight to
Remastered, and for PC, Helleborn. Tuesday, multi-platform, we have Layers of Fear, Street Fighter V, and Tron Runner.
Street
Runner.
Fighter.
And for PlayStation
Run,
Vita,
Runner.
Super Blast Deluxe. Everybody's favorite Thursday, multi-platform, we have Attack on Titan and Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, where they get Zika and die.
Is that actually the title?
For PC, we have Devil Daggers. And for Vita, we have, here we go, get your drink out. Kenny Tiyuki no Setsuna and
Right.
Kan Kali Kai, which is the working title.
Drink.
Drink. And then finally on Friday, multi-platform, we have Wondershot. So Street Fighter V is the
Jaeger.
big game this week. I have no interest in it, but, you know.
But maybe you do. So if you like it, buy it.
Yeah, what's the big difference between Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5? You know what I mean? Like
Oh, there's some fabulous new characters.
nuanced combat changes? Or probably not. Probably not. Okay, we got time for one email. I got to wrap it up early because
some of us need to get out to the Islander and do some drinking with people. Woo!
is that what you're doing?
That's what I'm doing. I'm leaving here and going to the Islander to drink.
Madman on a Sunday. You don't work tomorrow, though, do you?
Yeah, bank
President's
holiday.
Day.
Bank holiday. Woo!
Nice. Our friend Mike writes to the epitome of plethora at videogamenews.com.
That's plethora. But
Plethora.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to screw me up.
Yeah.
The epitome of plethora.
So,
He did it, though. He fucked me.
Yeah.
He says, hello, Don and crew. First, I would like to say that for all its rough edges and borderline chaos, VGN Radio is one of the most entertaining shows I have ever listened to. Thank you.
Rough edges.
I think.
This is a finely polished machine right here.
Yeah, with our awesome audio quality, people that pay attention, playing video games while the show's on. I listen to a lot of talk radio, and VGN rivals the top terrestrial radio programs in terms of enjoyment for me. I have been listening since the, quote, top of the iTunes charts, end quote, days, but this is just the first time I've written in. Well, thanks. I want you all to realize that a lot of your original fan base is still with you, loving every minute of the shows and hoping you will keep it up until you die.
well, die is.
Much to Brian's chagrin, that's the goal at this point.
Well, my wellness is a 1 out of 100. So next week, tune into the other three guys, and
Larry's corpse being used as a pinata.
yeah, well,
Candy, yay!
yeah. I'll make sure somebody comes over, turns the webcam at my chair, and it'll be like Weekend at Bernie's. You can just I'll just prop up in the chair.
I'll just say that we'll keep doing the show as long as I don't have any health problems, and if the show suddenly vanishes, you can listen to Tumble Into Tumbleweed to find out what happened. Because
even
It's
then,
not like any of us will be able to update any of you at all. If
Yeah.
anything, Kevin, it'll just be over.
right,
and if you're
exactly,
stumbling with tumbleweed to find out about it, it may take a couple weeks.
yeah. Don won't remember about it for a few weeks at first.
Earl Folks.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot. if you're wondering why we haven't done a VGN in like 5 or 6 weeks, Kevin died like 2 months ago.
And
I was
then it
gonna say
password.
something that week, but I was talking to Clint, and that just seemed more important.
It would be more like Donnie would be like, I don't know exactly what happened. Like Brian came on and he said Kevin got killed by cannibals, and I don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
But I haven't heard from him,
Right.
so maybe it is.
cannibals and Brian could be anything.
It's like I tried to
Brian
get
calls
hold
everything
of Brian. I was going to get hold of Brian, but then he kept sending me pictures of like weird stuff that I don't know about. So I kind of just figured, okay, well maybe he's not dead.
Exactly.
But fortunately, a couple days later, Larry checked in from Kevin's funeral on Facebook, so that I knew.
Right.
Yeah,
No, we're
he
gonna
got
stand with
there was a
Wilder.
selfie of Larry with Kevin in the coffin, and I think that was it. It says, eventually I want the G in VGN to stand for geriatric. Kevin, I recently stumbled across the piece you did with Tavis Smiley in 2002 on video game violence, specifically relating to Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Unfortunately, they didn't let you speak all that much. Can you tell us all about the experience and the circumstances that led to you being invited on the show? Well, that I'll just say that.
Even I didn't know you did a show with Tavis.
Oh,
Smiley.
you didn't? Yeah. It was just like at one point I was very aggressive in terms of gathering news and talking to PR. And that was in the early days when I thought you could make money doing this, which is not true. And
Yeah. You have since realized the error of your ways.
yeah, and so I got invited to be on Tavis Smiley as well as some other television shows and some radio shows that weren't national. And you have to go downtown to CSU or whatever it is where their radio station is, so you can use one of their. It's like a booth that you sit in, and there's a microphone and headset, and you then can talk. And basically, Tavis. First, you have a handler guy that tells you, how to greet him and all this sort of crap. And
Mr. Smiley.
you kind of hear him talking, and then, he comes on the air, and then he talks to you, and you respond and everything. But what you don't realize is that's all pre-edited. It's not live. And, you don't realize this when you're doing it, but it's pre-edited. And then what they do is what they really wanted to have was some sort of discourse between myself and that other guy that was on the show, but we were both agreeing the entire time that that it's up to parents to decide and that there's a rating and all this sort of stuff. So they didn't really get what they wanted out of it, but they kind of took some pieces of my response and pieces of his response, and then they made it into something.
Flush it down the toilet. I'm like, fuck these guys.
Yeah, so that's why
These guys are gay lovers. Wait, what?
I was on some other radio shows, but I didn't appear on like the Abrams Report on TV when they asked me to be on, because I realized at that point that they're just going to edit it and make me look like a fucking asshole. So I was like, I'm not going to do it. But so yeah, I kind of refused to do them after that, because it was just, no one's paying me, and I'm like, I'm not going to be like the whipping boy for Grand Theft Auto whatever on radio. So Brian,
Kevin,
what sort of Patreon money is it going to take to get you to stream yourself playing American Truck Simulator? Your truck driving career and the stories that go along with it have been a recurring facet of the show. What could be more fun watching you haul virtual loads while slinging some CB slang?
I don't even talk on my CB. Like, I turn it on when the weather's bad, then I turn it back off. Because the CB literally was the original people to talk shit safely to each other, because, except very rarely you'd have people like say they'd stop. And I guess they'd fight, or they'd pretend they're going to fight, but they just don't.
You're not going to play American Truck Simulator, just say it.
Well, I would if I had some way
That's
of
the answer.
actually getting it from, like, online or something, but I don't really have the capability to, actually do that shit, because I would need, like, technology, and I don't have it, which is
You
kind of
can't
weird.
stream unless he's connected or something.
I have to
Even
be at
then,
my
he
brother's
doesn't.
place.
Yeah.
Kevin would have to set me up to do it,
Right.
Although
on your Xbox, I think you can do it. You can just but you'd have to learn. Anyway,
Yeah.
Don, I wish you would speak in a Scottish accent more, like the old days. Whatever became of the Breeders' Cup game. And Larry, what is the status of Team Fortress 2 Capture the Flag map you were making where the flag is in Kevin's house guarded by robots? Love the show. Don't die, Mike.
I realized that I can't draw for shit, And perhaps more importantly, because I was actually able to rough out some really rough sketches for that. The biggest issue is that I have zero attention span or initiative and constantly come up with great ideas and then decide to go drink instead.
Oh my god.
But I actually had some cool ideas, cool stuff in store for that map. That's hardcore because I think I mentioned it once in passing.
And I don't ever remember speaking Scottish.
All right. That's it for the show. I'm already
All right.
over. But we'll be back next week. See you then. Peace.
Peace.
See ya.